Hi, I'm Melissa Spilstead from Hypnobirthing Australia and Hypnobubs. You have asked some questions and we've got the answers. Welcome to our Q and A series. So we have a question. How can I help stop my thoughts from wandering during a meditation? This is a really common question. It's normal. Don't worry about it. And the really cool thing is, this is self-hypnosis. It's actually different to some forms of meditation where you have to completely empty your mind. That's actually why I love self-hypnosis so much. But if it's bothering you, if your mind is just super active and you just want to shut it down and listen to the words in the MP3, then just focus on your breathing. Completely put your focus on the inhale, slight pause, long, slow breath out. Maybe you can visualize your diaphragm working or filling an inner balloon, and that will take your mind off the other thoughts that are cluttering your mind at this time. I hope this helps. So a mama has sent in this message to us. Do hypnobirthing techniques help mums who have depression or anxiety prior to getting pregnant? Oh yes. These are skills for life. The number of times I've been told this through the years where mums, they come up to me afterwards after they've had their beautiful birth and they say, I had no idea when I attended the classes or did the online course, I had no idea that these techniques that I was learning for birth were actually going to serve me so well throughout my whole life. And I have taught a lot of mamas who have suffered anxiety and depression prior to birthing, and it can be a real load, and I know that. But this is about self-empowerment, and this is about you taking control of your thoughts. And if you can do that during a pivotal time like birth, if you can take control of your thoughts and you can completely focus on having the type of birth that you want for you and your baby, that's the ultimate power. So yes, this course can absolutely help you. This isn't a question that I've received, but it's something that I want to share with you. The tools and techniques that we use leading up to our birth and during birth are seriously tools for life. So I just want to share something that happened in my personal life. My husband actually had kidney stones a number of years ago, and he was taken off in an ambulance and he was waiting in emergency and they couldn't find the key to the cabinet to get morphine for him, and he was in excruciating pain. The nurse looked at him and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. They've told me that this is more painful than childbirth." And my husband just goes, "You're telling the wrong person," which I think is quite funny. But then that kind of triggered my memory and I thought, well, hold on, why aren't I helping my husband with these techniques right now? So the nurse went away and then I just used some visualization with him. I got him to focus on his breathing, and then I used a strong visualization like the one we use in the bubble of comfort. Anyway, they did eventually find the key to the cabinet and they administered morphine and he's fine. But it was a weekend after this whole ordeal and I overheard him chatting to our friend. They were outside and they were cooking up a barbie, and he said to my friend, "Oh yeah, I was in so much pain, but then Melissa did this hypno stuff, and in the time that she was doing that hypno stuff, mate, I didn't feel anything." Now, my husband actually never said this to my face. He's never going to admit it. But I wanted to share this with you because these are truly tools that we can use our whole life. Have you used your hypnobirthing tools in a different context? Please share your story. Another question for our Q and A. This is a really common question too. Hi, I'm struggling to know what the difference is between relaxation and surge breathing. Is relaxation a longer out breath, whereas surge is the same length? All right. Yes, you're pretty much right there. Relaxation breathing is the breath that we use anytime to relax. It's a nice deep breath in, slight pause, and longer breath out. So think of it this way. Your breath in is about half as long as your breath out. In the MP3s that we provide in the course, you will get to practice the relaxation breathing because I prompt you through the relaxation breathing at the beginning of most of the MP3s. So you'll get plenty of practice with that. Now the surge breathing, that's obviously the one that we use during our surges. And seriously, I would not give birth without that breathing technique. It is fantastic. So the surge breathing is a long, slow, diaphragmatic breath in. So you take that breath in, draw it in as long as you can. Slight pause, and then a long, slow, regulated breath out. So with the surge breathing, your breath in is about as long as your breath out. Okay, and make sure that you use your visualizations with that too. You might be going over a wave, or you might be imagining your in a balloon, or some other visualization that suits you. But that's the difference between the relaxation breathing and the surge breathing. Our next question is it okay to keep refusing an induction towards 42 weeks? Ultimately, these are your decisions. It is your body and it is your baby. So that's the first thing that I want to say in answer to this question. Now, we cannot give you any medical advice. I can't give you medical advice, none of the practitioners can, but what we can do is urge you to do your research. And if you've already attended one of our courses or in the online series, then you will have access to extra reading and research where we go through the evidence. And the evidence keeps on changing too. So there was an ARRIVE trial a few years ago, which is often cited by caregivers for reasons for induction. And there's actually more recent research too that it is worth you looking at yourself. Now, it's very important that you have open communication with your caregiver. Your caregiver cares about you. They're there to help you, and they have your medical records. And don't be afraid to ask, are there any alternatives to this? Because maybe you could be getting some extra monitoring as you go further along in your pregnancy. It's just something that I suggest you speak to your caregiver about. You should never feel bad. You should never feel like you're not allowed to do something. Remember that the power is always with you, but have that open communication with your caregiver.